want to do a sketch of pen and ink of the Carpinteria State Beach. I'm going to work with some of these micro pens. I've got some brush pens. I think I have a brown and I have brown, number 1 brown, and brush pen for the brown. And then I've got black for a number 5 brush pen. I have 2 5s and a 3, so I don't really have a real thin one. But I'll start off with the number 5 for the foreground. No, I don't want to start with the foreground. I want to start with the tree. So I'll start with the number 3 for the tree. And I'm just going to wing it. I'm not going to draw first. Okay, first of all, I put tape all around. I'm not sure if I'm going to paint all the way up to the edge, but just in case. And I'm going to start by holding my number 3 pen far back because I want to make a very loose kind of sketch. So I'm going to start with some of the vegetation on this is a part that isn't scary because it's very organic. And I'll go all the way up to the top, thinking in terms of clumps of needles or pine needles, whatever it is. I'm looking at shape primarily. There's a peak hole in here. And it's not exactly like it is, because you can tell. And I want to look at the composition here of the path. I drew right through the tree, but that's okay because I'll be painting it darker anyway. And then in the foreground is the ice plant. So I'm going to go with a little bit of a heavier pen for that. And with the number 5. Wait, is this the number 5? That's what it says, but it doesn't seem like it. I wonder if I put the wrong cap on. Let me find the other one. Yeah, this is more like a number 5. And the contrast gets a little less back in here, so I'm not pressing down on my pen as much. I want it to feel like it's fading out a little bit here and letting it skip a little bit on my paper. Then you have this heavy shadow area here in the foreground. places where it's darker, I'm gonna get my brush pen and do some work on it. And so I like this because it's flexible and I can get thinner or thicker lines with it. So if I go press down on it, or I can get a really thick kind of a line. But I can also, if I'm like careful with it, I can get not as dark. I don't press down as hard. Looking where I see some darker darks in here, put some darks in back in here. And I didn't put in some of the vegetation, so I'm going to do that with this too. I'll do a little bit of paint now before I go on. I did not put in the little lifeguard station. I can barely see it in on my photo. And then there's a person sitting under the tree, so I think I should go ahead and put something in there, like, see if I can move my computer a little closer.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is behind the person, I can't tell. Okay, so let's see. I believe I'll start with my little flat brush. It's a 1/2 inch flat. And I'll start with sky. That's always a safe thing to start with. I'm using cobalt blue. I've got to switch to my big brush. This doesn't look like cobalt, but it's in the cobalt space. I put new paint in before I came, and so I hope I got the right thing. I want to make it less intense down here. I think I'll add some manganese. A little more of a greenish tone. Okay, so for green, I'll start with, it's a pretty dark green, so I'll go ahead. I want to have a little undertone of a brighter green. So I'll start with some sap green over on this side where the light's hitting. But now I'm going to go to the Perylene green. It needs a little brighter tone on here in places. So oh, right up here at the top, it gets quite dark. Want to spatter, oops, wow, that's a way to make branches. Or that's a little much. Okay. All right, now I'm going to paint the tree trunk. And I don't just like to use brown. I like to use some colors that are a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to use purple. Then I'll come in and add some burnt sienna to that. I'll use maybe a quinacridone sienna instead, a little more brilliant. Using aureolin yellow primarily that has a little bit of green or blue mixed in with it or green. Quinacridone gold. And cad yellow. And here's some Hooker's green. Oh, I gotta get my salt handy.
Okay.
A little bit of Scarlet Lake. I'm mixing ultramarine blue and sap green right now for this foreground area. I want to have some intense color in the foreground, more intense color. Now I'm going to sprinkle some salt on that. See if I can get this a little bit closer. Well, I haven't done anything about the trees in the distance, but it's sort of confusing. So I'm just going to make that a much lighter color back in here. Maybe even change it to a little bit of a lighter color. And the person sitting under the tree, well, I thought I'd make it look like he has a hat, but that's not working. Okay, purple shadow to connect things. I have to go now back into the tree and I'm wondering if it's dry enough for me to come back in with some pen. Let me see. This is a brush pen. Oh, no, it's a heavy dark, kind of a number one, not a 0.1. I'm making some texture on the tree trunk.
Uh,
I forgot to paint in this branch. I need to get sort of a pattern of darks here. And I'll come back in and get a little bit darker. It's amazing how much lighter this tree became as it dried. I'm using my brush to create the illusion of the shape of these branches.
That's what I was looking for. All right.
What was that? I'm pretty much obliterating the pen line. I think I'm really more of a watercolorist. A little bit of spatter in there. Okay, now to get down to the foreground. Let's see. I can really barely see that lifeguard stand, but I'm gonna put a little indication of it. This is Scarlet Lake. All right, so I've got to do something about the white here. I need to start to connect some of the values and shapes in here. I'm painting on the tape. Let's see, I didn't put any color for the sand. It's kind of white anyway. I didn't put the water in. See if it's dry enough. Oops. Oh dear. It's a little too bright. I lost this beautiful branch coming up because I put some leaves in there. Okay, I don't have quite enough contrast in the foreground. All right, now let's see if my gel pen works. It's the acrylic one, marker thing. Let's see. There, yeah, it's got some. Trying to come back in with some lighter lines. But I might have to end up using gouache. Let's see. Oh, wow, a big blob came out. Okay, maybe it's better if I just use some gouache. Let's see, where's that rigger? I was going to use the rigger. Oh, this is not opaque enough. I don't think you can really even tell that's a person, but that's okay. I think that got a little too intense right there.
Maybe your person could wear a colored shirt.
I could put a little bit of red in there, huh?
Yeah, maybe something, because you can't tell it's a person. You're right.
Right.
I don't know if you care, but
No, I don't really, but it'd be nice to make it a little more like it's got some,
no, that makes him look.
like it has a character of some kind.
Maybe put a hat on him.
He has a hat, I think.
I
Oh,
tried
he
it,
does?
I messed up, so I'll do another.
Okay, a big sombrero,
Yeah,
huge.
a big sun hat.
Yeah, here, this is a big blob of color here.
Oh, that's better. That looks good.
Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can make a little hat.
Yeah.
Well, not like that.
The 10-gallon hat.
Yeah, and it's got a little.
Oh, that looks like a hat.
No, now it looks like a person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe he needs an arm. Is he needing something?
I had a
It
little-
actually looks like he's painting.
I thought he was reading something or, yeah.
Oh, paint.
But it seems like the face should have a little color, don't you think?
Well, maybe you need to wait till the hat dries.
Oh, yeah, or it'll be a big,
It'll be all red or whatever.
yeah, sunburned.
Well, that's really pretty. Those flowers are way better than the beach.
Yeah, I love the variety of color and it's fresh looking.
Yeah,
Emotional color.
I love it.
What?
Very Sylvia.
One
She
of the
said-
things that
She
bothers
said
me,
very Sylvia.
yeah. One of the things that bothers me is this corner. You know, one of the things that I don't like is the fact that this corner is just sort of like lost.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna put a little bit of color in there and see if I can paint it like it's the corner.
Oh, I see what you mean. You didn't paint down into that.
No,
Oh, okay.
then it gives it a little bit more.
Maybe put a little of that gold down in there. Or maybe you don't want the eye to go there. The bright colors are in the middle.
Well, I think a little gold would be good to kind of carry through.
So these are the details.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that now.
yeah, I don't like the figure at all. Maybe if when it gets more dry, I could come back in and with some little light dots or something. It seems like his face needs,
Maybe he needs a little shadow under his chair.
maybe.
What do you think? I don't know.
Yeah, that helps.
To ground him a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, for a first painting after a long trip, it's not too bad.
The
It's so
tree looks
fast.
amazing.
It moves again. How funny.